Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ya Ali. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. May Allah bless you all. May Allah give you the love of Ahlul-bayt in your lives. Take away all kinds of gham and sadness except for the gham of Aba Abdullah. For us to be called to Karbala very, very soon, let's have a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين مولانا وسيدنا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض مولانا حجة ابن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم صل على ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قيل للحسين عليه السلام كيف أصبحت يا ابن رسول الله فقال أصبحت ولي ربي فوقي والنار أمامي والموت يطلبني والحساب محدق بي وأنا مرتهن بعملي. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, I wish you all on this joyous occasion Khushali Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the best of this life and the life hereafter, cure our sick ones and those who are ill, help those who are in distress and in difficulties, increase everyone's rizq and barakat. Tonight is the night of Aba Abdullah, the greatest wasila of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We say that in the hadith of the Holy Prophet, he says that Innal Hussein misbahul huda wa safinatun najah. That Hussein is the lamp of guidance and the ship of salvation. The ulama were asked, someone asked one of the imams, are you not all ships of salvation? Why do you only say that Hussein is the ship of salvation? They said, no. We are all the ships of salvation, but the ship of Hussein is faster and quicker. With the wasila of Aba Abdullah, inshallah, tonight we pray, remember me in your prayers as well, iltimas dua, that you ask for your hajat, that Allah answers our hajat and brings us into a much better, nicer world, inshallah, with all these calamities going on. May Allah establish peace upon this earth. And may He quickly show us the glorious revolution of Imam Zaman. And may He give us tawfiq to be in Imam's army when He comes. Shabbir ka shaida hoon, khatawar bhi hoon. Shabbir ka shaida hoon, khatawar bhi hoon. Dozakh mein nahi jaunga, gunahkar bhi hoon. Agar khench ke le gaye mujhe 10-20 malak, अगर खींच के ले गए मुझे 10-20 मलक, बुझा दूंगा आंसुओं से आज़ादार भी हूँ. Imam Hussein alayhi salam keeps no one's debt. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is no one's makrooz. He will pay back whatever we do in his name, whatever we do for him. Aba Abdullah never forgets. He and his mother are very, very kind, and they will pay back inshallah. So whatever efforts we can make tonight in the name of Aba Abdullah, with as much as your attention and focus on this lecture, inshallah, we will pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our small efforts and to give us the blessings of Imam Hussein. With a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Azizan, my trip here amongst you is almost coming to an end. This is one of the final lectures we have tonight, then we have tomorrow for the wiladat of Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, and then we have the wiladat of Imam Zainul Abidin, and these are the final lectures. So I just wanted to extend my thanks to you all, to the MC. MC have been very, very accommodating, very flexible, very welcoming. You all have been very welcoming. And you have allowed me to get involved with the community at all levels, and I thank you for this because it's allowed me to see the community in more depth. And I would say that I've looked into the heart of your community. And what I have seen is beautiful. You have so much going on. You have so many activities. You have so many subcommittees, you have so many volunteers, you have so much spirit. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you united and strong, inshallah, and even more united and strong. But this is an amazing community. We need to work hard to keep it like this. We need to make sacrifices. We need to give our time in this. We need to give our efforts in this, inshallah. If everyone does this with the khulus of niyat, with the purity of intention, inshallah, where this community can reach, it can be one of the shining gems, inshallah, in the crown of Tashayyu and Shiaism. It can be one of those communities where Imam-e-Zaman looks with his grace and he feels happy that we have such a community in the world. I want to appreciate the youths as well. Very much appreciate the youths who have, inshallah, started to come inside the main hall, to sit in the lectures. They don't maybe know what sukoon and peace it gives the rest of the community to see them inside. What sukoon and what qalb nu sukoon, dil nu sukoon it gives the elders, that peace, that tranquility to see them inside. It's a kind of strengthening of our bond, of our community, of the unity that acts amongst us. To see them here, to participate with them, to be with them, one all together, it's a great, great boost for the community. If there are any shortcomings from my side, then I ask you for forgiveness. Inshallah, you are buzurgwar, you are magnanimous. Inshallah, you'll find in your hearts to forgive me. Now, Azizan, we were discussing the soul and spirituality in Islam. And we said that one of the states that a human being goes through in his progress towards God is that he becomes a thinking soul, nafs mutafakkira, where the soul begins to think deeply now on many things, the big questions of life, his own situation, people around him, what is happening to him, why he feels, for example, that there is a lack of happiness in his life, why he feels, for example, that there is a lack of sukoon. On one hand, he has everything that the world can give him. On the other hand, he lacks the ability to find tranquility in the world. On one hand, he has lots of friends, but those friends he feels leave him still feeling negative and down. He has ties, he has connections, but those connections are not fulfilling him. In other words, this is the thinking soul, that there's something missing in my life. Why am I not enriched? Why do I not feel relaxed? Why is there no sukoon in my life? Why is there a kind of darkness around me? Where's that happiness that I was supposed to feel? The world is telling me that when you're doing these things, when you have these things, you should feel happy. But why am I not feeling happy? Why is that enrichment of my inner soul not there? So this mutafakkira soul will start to think about these things. And he will go through the motions, or she will go through the motions. They think, for example, okay, friends gives me happiness, they'll go for friends, it doesn't work. They'll go for example, wealth and materialism, it doesn't work. Whatever thing they go towards, it will not fill that gaping hole inside their heart, because that hole can only be filled with the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they will struggle with this, and they will go towards this, and they will go towards different things. But at some point, every thinking, truly free thinking person will come to this conclusion that there's only one thing that can enrich me, and that is the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The thinking soul now starts to act. But the problem is that it lacks consistency. Many people will be able to relate to this, that we want to do things, we do things from certain times, but we lack consistency. Very quickly those things fade out. We forget, we lose that motivation, we lose that energy. Now, how do we overcome this? You see, one of the tricks of the soul is to make you quickly get bored with things, quickly lose interest, quickly lose your enthusiasm, and jump onto the next thing. And our modern day lifestyle doesn't help us, because we're always flicking from thing to thing, reel to reel, scrolling here, there. It's very hard for us to put our attention on any one thing for very long. And this is one of the tricks of the soul as well. However, within this trick, there's a great bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is, if you can get over that phase of your soul trying to move you on and not letting you concentrate, it opens a whole world of spirituality for you. If you can persevere and remain strong and steadfast on something, then it opens a whole world of spirituality for you. Now there's a magic number here. How long do you have to do something for it to truly impact your heart and soul? The magic number is 40 days. 40 days. If you can manage to hold on to a practice and perform a practice day after day without interruption, it could be something very small, or you may think it's small. It could be, for example, I will recite this surah, one surah, but 40 days. It could be that I will, for example, speak with God for 2 minutes a day. It could be that, for example, on my musalla, I will sit an extra 30 seconds after my namaz. I won't just quickly get up. It could be that, for example, I will concentrate on ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam for 40 days. Whatever it may be something big, it may be something small. But you'll see the effect in your life. You'll see that your heart actually starts to resonate, respond to that thing. And then you'll have different ways of interacting. You see, right now, when we talk about namaz, namaz is that cornerstone, and I will keep coming back to namaz. If the person who doesn't pray namaz knew what they were missing, honestly, they would die. They would just die if they knew what they were missing by not praying namaz. I don't think they could live. It would kill them. It would break them to pieces. Namaz is that cornerstone. So at the moment, you see, namaz for us is like, for some of us, it's like, I have to do it. I have to do it. But when a person gets a bit consistent and changes their mindset and starts to think, then they look at namaz in a different way. I was listening to a non-Muslim say, he is this kind of like, I don't know what you want to call him, self-help kind of guy, guru type of person. Not that I have any particular interest, nor do I like to bring non-Muslim things into our majalis, because I think Islam has far more detailed and better answers. But this one was something very interesting, and I'll share with you. He said he was a doctor. He was a doctor in England, and he worked for NHS. So NHS is our National Health Service, yeah? So people there are typically, the doctors and nurses there are typically working very, very long hours and very long shifts, and the work is hard. So he was coming to the end of his shift. He was coming to the end of his shift. And he's like, okay, there's another few minutes to go, and then I'm done. And he was tired, exhausted, fatigue. And this nurse comes to him right at the end of the shift, and she says to him, "Doctor, I'm having a problem here. I cannot insert a particular drip inside a patient's vein, and I'm having problems. Can you just do it for me before you go?" Now, outward, he said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." Inward, he was cursing. He was like, damn, right at the end of my shift, I was just looking forward to going home. This would have been the last, minute that I had, but she had to grab me at that time, and she had to tell me to do this. And he was really feeling frustrated. Anyway, he goes into the cubicle. The patient is there. And in the next cubicle, they can't see him, he can't see them, but he can hear them. In the next cubicle, because the curtain is there, he hears two sisters talking. One is a patient, one is a visitor. And he's just listening. And they're talking to each other. So the one sister says to the other sister, "I'm so impressed by this hospital. The staff are amazing. They go over and beyond the call of duty. They go over and beyond, and they do extra. They're such a nice people. The nurses are good. The doctors are good. All of them are so nice." And then the other sister responds, "Yes, really, I'm so lucky. I got this hospital, and I got these people, and this ward, and these nurses, and these doctors." Now he's listening, and now he's feeling so ashamed. He's like, I was feeling so bad that I have to put something into another patient, and I have to treat another patient, and my time is going. He started feeling guilty. So what he said was, the interesting thing was, he said, "I changed my mindset. That incident taught me a lesson. I changed my mindset. I said to myself, from now on, I won't say to myself, I have to do something. I have to see a patient. I have to treat a patient. I have to help a patient. From now on, I will say to myself, I have the honor of treating a patient. I have the honor of seeing a patient. I have the honor of helping someone. Now, I thought to myself, what if we change that with something like namaz? Instead of saying, I have to pray namaz, I have the honor of praying namaz. Allah, Zat la yatanaha, the unlimited, unfathomable being who cannot even be described or imagined, wants someone like me to talk to him. What an honor he has given me. Man ke basham ke bar an khatir atir guzaram. What am I that I should occupy even a moment of thought in the mind of Allah? Lutfa mikuni. It is only your grace that you allow me to talk to you. Ay khake darat, taj saram. Oh, the one, the dust of prostrating to you is really the crown of my head. So in Nafs Mutafakkira, we go through these different thoughts and ideas, and we try our best to convince ourselves about what we're doing. Here I want to bring the hadith of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So this hadith is just a window into the mindset. Look at the mindset of Abu Abdullah. Look at the mindset, the attitude, the godly vision of Imam Hussein. Al-mu'minu yanduru bi nurillah. This is another hadith. Mu'min, when he looks how? With the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He looks at everything godly, in a godly manner. Now listen to the words of Imam Hussein. Someone comes to him and says, Kayfa asbahta yabna Rasulillah. In other words, how are you today? How are you doing? What's up? Okay, to Imam Hussein. He replies, Asbahtu. Today, this is my state. Rabbun fawqi. I understand that I am in a state that above me, superior to me, on top of me, I have a Lord. This Lord is like an umbrella on top of me. Everything I do is covered by this umbrella. The thought of God, the thought of Allah. Like we say, Khuda ne hajar ne nazir samajwano. Present and watching, present and looking. So he says the first thing is, I have a Lord above me. Wanaru amami. And I know there's a chance that the fire of hell is in front of me. I know there's a chance. Imam Hussein has so much humility in front of God that he says, I know there's a chance. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. What were we discussing a few nights ago? Nabi Yusuf says, I don't even trust myself. If my Lord does not have His grace upon me and His mercy upon me, then me alone, if I'm left to my own devices, God knows what will happen. He says, I have the fire in front of me. I have to be careful. Even Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, I have to be careful. وَالنَّارُ أَمَامِ وَالْمَوْتُ يَطْلُبُنِي. And death is looking for me. Death is searching for me. Death is after me. I know that. This is how I think. This is how Imam Hussein is saying, this is how I think. My Lord, I have a Lord above me. I have fire in front of me. Death is chasing me. وَالْحِسَابُ مُحْدِكٌ بِي. Accounting for all that I'm doing is surrounding me. I know I can't get away from this. Imagine every step, thought, action, interaction, hi, hello, whatever it is in your life, everything is going to be accounted for. Every final thing, every small thing is going to be accounted for. So Imam Hussein says, I know that I'm surrounded by this reality that I have to account. Imagine a mu'min brings this into his life. Now imagine your spirituality, how it would be if at every stage you think, Allah is watching me. I have to give hisab. I have to account. How different would our life be? Imagine before we speak how many times we would think. Imagine before we interact with people how much we would think. Imagine before listening to certain things, we would give a thought. One day I have to give an answer for this. Ek divas aanu jawab devanu che. Iska hisab dena padega. Imagine that kind of thought process. Wa ana murtahanum bi amali. And I am trapped with my deeds. If there's one thing that is going to confine us, it's our deeds. Our deeds. There is nothing else that we take into the hereafter apart from our deeds, our beliefs, our thoughts, our actions. La ajidu. Look at Imam Hussein alayhi salam, what he's saying. La ajidu ma uhib. I know I'm not going to get whatever I want. I know, Imam Hussein is saying, I know I'm not going to get whatever I want. I know the world doesn't work like that. I know that if things go wrong, I can't just start throwing the toys out of my pram and throwing a tantrum, for example, against God. I know that. No one gets everything that they want. Wala adfa'u ma akra. And I know that if something bad is going to come to me, I don't independently have the power to move it away from me. Sickness will come, disease will come, poverty will come, calamity will come, issues will come, unban will come, jagras will come, disunity will come. I know that. I know that. I know I'm basically powerless. I know I'm basically powerless. Wal umur bi yadi ghairi. And I know that all these things are in someone else's hands. This is the mindset. This is the attitude. فَإِنْ شَاءَ عَذَّبَنِي. I know that if my Lord wished to take me to task, He can punish me. وَإِنْ شَاءَ عَفَا عَنِّي. And I know that if He wished, He can forgive me and overlook so many of my shortcomings. This is the thing. This is the final sentence in this hadith. Bearing all this in mind, فَأَيُّ فَقِيرٍ أَفْقَرُ مِنِّي. So now you tell me, which beggar is more in need than me in front of my Lord? If I understand all of these different things, then what am I? I don't have power. Je mane joy che, I mane malse nahi. Je mane nati pasand, ene hu dur nahi kari shaku mara pota thi. I can't get what I want. I can't reject what I don't want. I don't have power. I'm trapped in my a'mal. I have fear of hell in front of me. I have a Lord who's watching me. I'm ransomed to my deeds. Well, that tells me that I'm not really much at all, am I? Then I should be very humble. And I should be very, very meek. And I should be very, very submissive. If all of this is true, Imam Hussein is saying, if all of this is true, then I should be the most humble servant. Imagine. This is nafs mutafakkir. This is the kind of thing nafs mutafakkira does. Brings different things, different ideas, different thoughts. And then the conclusion is very important. فَأَيُّ فَقِيرٍ أَفْقَرُ مِنِّي. Which faqir is more faqir than me? One of the ladies of Medina, she passes by Rasulullah. Rasulullah was sitting. She says, Ya Rasulullah, I love you, I love everything about you except for one thing. You sit like the slaves sit. So the slaves in that time, they used to have a certain way of sitting in a very humble manner. She said, you sit like the slaves sit. He said, Wayhaki, what are you talking about? Ayyu abdin a'badu minni. Which slave have you seen which is more slave-like than me? I'm the most slave-like for my Lord. Humility in front of Allah. We talk a lot about humility in front of people. We talk a lot about that. Let's leave that for a minute. Okay? Humility in front of God. Humility in front of God. Humility is not just for people. Humility in front of Allah. That my God is watching. Therefore, I should be careful. Azizan, this is one of the key things in the realm of spirituality, that you feel Allah is watching you. You feel Allah is always over you, above you, accounting for you, and that you don't feel confident. You're always kind of on edge in a good way to keep you on your toes, to keep you sharp. Whenever we do anything, we go into business, we go into sports, we go into a tournament or anything, what do we say? Guys, on your toes, be ready, get ready. Anything can happen. Be ready for anything at any time. The same will apply to Islam. And this is one of the final lessons of spirituality. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue by going into the next level of nafs, which is nafs-e mulhama. The nafs which is inspired, inshallah. With your du'as and your support, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our a'mal and deeds. Bless us in this holy month. Keep us strong and united, inshallah. Azizan, for the quick zuhur of Imam Zaman, let's have 3 loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allah